Why do so many people not understand the WNBA players make less than NBA players? Because less people watch the sport. And if you agree with this, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe
Sexist.
because here's what I think. I honestly think people just don't want to face truth.
Mm-hmm.
I just think they don't want to face truth. I feel like it's like the people that lie to themselves enough that they believe the lie. You know, like it gets to the point where you're like, oh, well, it can't be because just not that many people are interested in it. It must be for some awful, nefarious reason. Like, I'll give you an example. If I was in charge of women's sports marketing and making money, I would lean in to softball. I would lean in to volleyball. I would lean in to gymnastics. Like, I'm going to come out and say something that, look, it's just the truth. Women's softball, I'm not talking about just college softball. I will watch that and enjoy it. I will seek that out and watch that. I know a lot of people that love that sport. I could make the argument it's the best women's sport there is. Volleyball, I will watch that. I find it fascinating. The speed of the game is more what we're used to seeing. Gymnastics, unbelievable. Watching those girls flip like that and contort it's just crazy to watch and how unbelievably athletic that is. Not saying that women's basketball isn't athletic. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's not entertaining. It's not entertaining because a lot of it is speed of the game. And you know what? There's nothing that you can do about it. There's just nothing you can do about it. Because if I watch one NBA or high-level high school or Division I or college basketball game, comparing baseball to softball, there's not that big of a gap. There's not. The speed of the game's about the same. It's probably faster for softball. In volleyball, the speed of the game is pretty fast. At men's volleyball, yeah, the speed of the game's fast, but you look at how volleyball is played, the women it's very comparable. Basketball's not. It's not even close. That's sorry.
That's interesting.
Like it's just the truth.
I'll say I enjoy watching women's tennis a lot, especially when I was playing a lot of tennis and I was trying to get better. And one interesting fact of it is a lot of times you'll get two males playing professional tennis where the points are over after a point or two because they hit so hard, you know. But the women's tennis, there'll be long rallies. It actually makes it more entertaining. That's just one aspect of women's tennis that I find interesting.
It's like I'll go into this. The WNBA will never even get close to what the NBA makes. I bet if they leaned at, which you see college softball, there's a reason college softball, the Women's College World Series and Super Regionals are on ESPN. Like, people watch that stuff. I think softball could overtake college baseball at some point if they really leaned into it. I really are getting close.
The talent gap's closer, I think. Right? You're saying
softball,
the baseball. No one's watching women's basketball because the talent gap from a woman playing basketball to a man playing basketball is a lot bigger than a woman playing softball and a guy playing baseball. And you can relative that to the speed of the game. There's a bunch of little things in that. But other than that, people want to watch people that are the best at what they're doing. That's what I want to watch. It's not because you're a woman. It's just like I can go either watch y'all celebrate someone with the most normal dunk ever, or I can go watch John Morant windmill, throw it off the backboard to himself and dunk it. All right? People want to watch people who are the best at their sport. And softball, there are really extremely good players in softball, whether that's the USA going to play, whether that's college or whatever. Soccer. That's the one that gets me because the U.S. in soccer and women's, they're better than everybody. Most of the time, they beat everybody, but they can't beat a 15-year-old kids from Dallas. So that's the reason I really don't watch women's soccer because I know the level of talent gap that's there. And softball is extremely close. Gymnastic is extremely close. That's why I think those get more pop. People watch that more than like the WNBA or U.S. soccer.
I think more sports fans in general watch women's softball and watch women's volleyball, fans of all sports. I think the people that are watching women's basketball are mostly women that played basketball, are girls that are going to become women that play basketball. I don't know that many men that say, oh my God, I can't wait to watch this women's basketball game. I've known a lot of men that said, I tell you what, Oklahoma is about to play Florida in softball, and I am watching that.
Whereas if women were just playing baseball, identical rules, identical
I
field.
think it would be very similar to the NBA and the WNBA.
Yeah, because the softball is different enough from baseball that it makes it's interesting and it's unique.
Yeah.
And it sort of makes up for it.
I think that's just the truth. People will call me misogynist, but I just think that's the truth of the matter. And deep down, if we can all just play a game of let's be honest, I think a lot of people would agree with me. Hello, YouTube. It's me, Jake. and David sitting to my left. This Christmas, we just ask one thing and one thing only. You hit that subscribe button, because without that, you're basically giving us coal, and we don't think you're that type of people. And we've been good all year. At least I have, David.